We're back. Okay. Episode 3. I do not yet have a title, but you know the title because you already. That's how processes work. Uh, see, that's so interesting. But no, focus. We're 10 seconds. Just start it over. No, I'm not starting it over. We're in it. We're doing it. I would never start it over. If you think I've ever started one over, you're wrong. I haven't. I would never do that. All the mistakes, we leave it in. If that much hasn't already become clear to you, then this is your first time listening. Thank you for joining me. I was thinking about what are we doing. I was just talking to someone like, what is this? Is this a journal, a diary? Is this a voice log? Is this for me? Is this for posterity? Is this to be released? Is this, God, is this a podcast? I shudder at the thought. What is this? What am I doing? I mean, I sort of said in episode 0, I didn't really so much say it as imply it, but it's sort of this is practice, this is gym, this is workout. But that doesn't mean that I necessarily shouldn't take it seriously or, release it and get feedback because, those are the things ultimately I want to be doing with a real thing, so then I have to do it I have to practice the real stuff. I can't just treat practice like it's fake, and then when I do it for real, it's like I've never done it, So, anyways, the distinction between real and practice is sort of imaginary, but, that's just how I'm covering for my ineptitude. But anyways, I don't have a topic, but what I thought, that was the big waveform when I clapped. That was such a quiet clap. But then, it's because God damn it, I have the headphones on still. I gotta get it monitoring, but it doesn't. Anyways, why focus, Julian? Breathe with me. Let's do a meditation and a breath together. Okay, so what I thought was, let's do not a meme review, but what's a news website? New York Times. Okay, NYT and Google, the New York Times. They're gonna hate me because I don't pay for them, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna read headlines. And then I'm going to talk my feelings. If this doesn't work, I delete it. So if you're hearing this, that means it did work in some vain conception. So, let's see. I don't get how this works. U.S. job growth shows signs of slowdown. I don't care. The labor market, God, this is bad. Why am I doing this? The labor market cooled, added, and the unemployment rate ticked up. So, okay. Consumer sentiment has become gloomier, but the overall economic picture remains bright. Okay. Didn't the war just break out a month ago? It's kind of, are higher rates slowing the economy? A zoo offers clues. Okay. Focus. Calm. Julian, you can do this. Israel Hamas. Dangerous, but I've got the skill to handle this. As Gaza war enters new phase, Israel faces pressure over civilian deaths. See, this is good input. This is good stimulus for me to talk about. Faces pressure over civilian deaths. Pressure. Okay. Yes, I got the information. As Gaza war enters new phase, from kind of not killing a lot of civilians to killing a lot of civilians, Israel faces pressure over civilian deaths, yes. Fears are rising that the conflict could spread to the West Bank. I'm just reading the New York Times. Fears are rising that the conflict could spread to the West Bank, where tensions are soaring among Palestinians angered over Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. So, here's my take on this article. War? Bad. War bad. Okay, next. Blinken stresses support for Israel, but urges protection for civilians. Secretary of State... Okay, we don't need to read it. Here's my summary. War? Tricky. War bad? War also tricky. I should just have my own news site where I'm just, summarize, this is what you need to know. Don't waste your time with your own analysis. Just trust me. A doctor in Gaza describes horrific scenes after Israeli airstrikes. Okay, war? Bad. We knew that. We didn't need that article. That was a little redundant. We already know war bad. Israeli ground troops are continuing to close in on Gaza City, satellite imagery shows. War? Real. Real happen now. Sam Bankman-Fried trial. A wild rise and abrupt crash. Sam Bankman-Fried gambled that his trading platform would make him a benevolent tech tycoon, but after a fraud conviction, all bets are off. News? Old. Florida's youngest senior. Moving for early retirement. New Jersey in her 50s is finding her third act to be the most fun in the community, where the average age is 79. What? She just retired in her 50s? I mean, she's certainly not the youngest person. I don't understand the categories. Okay, this is a mind-bending. Moving for early retirement. A New Jerseyan in her 50s is finding her third act. So, first of all, is 50s early retirement? I mean, what is average retirement is like 62 or something? So, they say 50s. They didn't say early 50s, so let's assume it's second. So she's maybe 5 years early retiring. Early to average, but again, that's average. I feel like a lot of people retire in their 50s. That's not that early. You know, if you're retired at 30, that's early. You've done well, you know. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. But anyways, is finding her third act to be most fun. Okay, yeah. I mean, okay, let's be generous here. Let's be charitable. It should be, right? Because it's like the freedom of your first act. It's like being a child. But instead of, the newness of the world being what's exciting, it's what's a good way of putting it? It's not control, but it's a comfort. It's an understanding. You get to, you have the struggles of your body breaking down in old age, sure, but you have the comforts of your knowledge, your accumulated wealth. Like you get to reap, all the work you did understanding the world. Now you should have a very good understanding of the world, and you should be, riding the wave of the universe, as it were. Like you should be, riding the wave, or catching the wind, or, like you should be very good at efficiently navigating because of how well you understand the world. So I think, the third act of your life should be the most fun. You don't have to work, you don't have so many responsibilities, you're free as a kid, but you're an old, wise adult, yeah, for sure. But what is this article, though? Florida's youngest senior, moving for early retirement, third act to be the most fun in a community with average age 70. So it's about how everybody's older than her, but it's fun? News, man. Alright, I mean, it's good. News is good. Entertainment, good. I'm not saying anything. I just don't understand. I bet you if I read that article, it would be so good. I know it would be so good. It's hard for me to understand with that. Okay. I assume this is just a video, but man, that's the coolest video I've ever seen. The Deadly Maui Inferno, hour by hour. It has these videos, and then it, the videos shrink, and then they locate themselves. Not even on a map, just on a satellite photo of the place. So you see the live videos mapped to their locations on the island. Pretty cool. I wish that was not a rendered video. I wish that was just a feature of a geospatial video app. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't do that. Just a few years ago, that was asking a lot. But modern devices can do multiple video streams in parallel, mapped to a map. That's not technologically, hardware speaking. That's not asking too much of modern devices. Call me Apple, call me Google, call me Microsoft. I got it. Okay. Eric Trump returns to stand from a trial. He was so tired. He was so tired he had to west his legs. He had to weigh down. Oh, I'm so funny. Eric Trump returns to stand in fraud trial. Son of former President Trump is continuing in a trial that threatens his family. Is this the one they're all in, or it's his own thing? It's like so. It's one of those things where it's like some breakthrough technology, and you're like, where'd it go? What happened? And then like 5-10 years later, all of a sudden it's like in everything, and you're just like, oh, why was there a 10-year delay? Why was there a 5-year delay? But like, okay, whatever. I guess I just don't understand how things work. It's the same thing with all this Trump shit. It's like, I feel like they're not even, I mean, I know nothing about this, but I feel like they're not even really being held to account or need to be held to account for things they did, like, in office or whatever. They just, like, have been, you know, kind of scumbags doing illegal stuff for, like, decades and decades. So I feel like just the fact that people now, just by creating animosity towards themselves, now everybody's just being, I don't want to say being jerks to them, but now everybody else is scrutinizing them and holding them to account. You know, they're being scrupulous. And now these people, these sleazebags who've gotten away for decades on being sleazebags, can't get away as sleazebags in a world where everyone's being scrupulous and, you know. So it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's like, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like, I'm just thinking like a game show or something where they like do some, you know, this happens all the time in game shows where like, you know, there's some front runners or something, and then some like unexpected person wins some immunity challenge, and so the person that everybody thought was going to get voted off, or some like really weak contestant, is now suddenly immune, and like sort of the tables flip on their heads. And then it's like, yeah, but that only lasts a week, and then it's like, what happens after that? So it's like, during that week, if you're the person who's immune, you have to be really gracious to everybody. If you spend that week, you know, being a dick to everybody and being like, hey, you can't touch me, you know, then like the moment your immunity wears off, they're coming for you. So it's just like, I don't know, maybe, you know, maybe there was a little too much stone throwing from one's glass house porch. Comeuppance? Am I advocating? I don't know. I just, no, kind of don't care. I don't want to care. I probably should. Cruise grew fast and angered regulators. Now it's dealing with the fallout. Cruise is you wouldn't know this, but I see the picture. Cruise is an autonomous car company. General Motors subsidiary has hired a law firm to investigate how it responded to regulators as its driverless cars sit idle. So it just has lots of futuristic driverless cars. And I guess it angered regulators, so they didn't give it license. And I don't know, so much to care about. FBI raid poses major political challenge for Eric Adams. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has faced ethical issues for years. A raid of his chief fundraiser's home poses a major threat. I mean, the amount of local political corruption is insane in this country. Russia sends biggest drone barrage in weeks, Ukrainian officials say. Army officials and military analysts say it is part of a campaign to wear down and probe Ukrainian air defenses ahead of winter. I mean, should probably say something. War, Ukraine. It's just, war, oh, right. War is complicated. That's what that article says. Okay. War hasn't stopped the Kyiv biennial. It's multiplied it, our critic writes. War equals good. That's the, I mean, that's the moral of that story. Can the humanities survive the budget cuts at universities? After years of hand-wringing about their future, liberal arts departments now face the chopping block. At risk, French, American studies, and women's studies. I mean, French, American, and women, those are like the three categories of people we don't need at all. How one city is building for a very rainy day. Hoboken! a flood-prone city on the Hudson River, as am I racist, has bundled water-absorbing infrastructure into benefits residents asked for, like parks and safer streets. This is just an infrastructure thing. New Delhi chokes as annual curse of pollution returns with a vengeance. Schools shut down and residents were told to stay indoors as the government seems unable to avert an airborne calamity that descends at the onset of winter. I feel like there's actually technologies. I know there was a thing in China like maybe 10 years ago. I think it was like maybe around the Beijing Olympics. They had like a whole building of filtration that like would reduce the smog, but only for a couple city blocks, I thought. I feel like it's the kind of thing where like, like rain can get can like cut it in half, can significantly reduce the smog. So I feel like, I don't know, let me adjust this. Sorry. I feel like, we can seed clouds. I mean, what is it? I'm trying to think of the word for messing with the weather, but I wonder what sort of solutions there are. The one thing that is not a valid solution, that you should not even suggest, and I want to make this very clear, is not combusting and polluting in the first place. That is not a valid solution. So we obviously have to. And in fact, if the solution involves burning more fossil fuels, all the better is what I say. Yeah, smog is tough, especially certain like geographic areas, like there's no airflow. So I wonder if, what if you could like seed some sort of thermal like convection, like you set up a big sort of solar collection thing using like reflectors rather than like not solar panels, but like solar reflectors. So then you collect a huge amount of heat energy, which then doesn't hit the ground. So in the shade cast by these solar collectors, the ground is colder, right? So then the air there will tend to sink. And then all that collected sunlight, you like funnel it to one spot, and that spot gets really hot, and so then all the air there rises. And so then you create like an artificial sort of temperature gradient, and then you create a convection current. And so now you might even not have to do this. Like, it would depend. I mean, it's expensive to get solar collection. Like, it's physical material that takes up space. So to do it for a significant volume of air. But I wonder if there's like, you could use some computer modeling to find out like what are the most, sensitive areas of this local climate that's trapping the smog here. And it's like if we could only create one upward thermal, vector, what would be, where could we put it that would most efficiently clear smog from the city? And I bet like, I don't know, a few smaller installations or one big, I don't know, I bet you could sort of create like an artificial wind, right? Especially if you're like situated in like some kind of valley or something, right? And there's all this stagnant air sinking, and then you go to the lowest point of the valley, and then you shoot a column of air up, right? Because then all the stagnant air that's trying to sink and is stuck in this local minima, is always going to fall to the lowest point, which is where you're shooting it up from. So it's going to constantly then be circulating the air. So like all this smog is then going to start filtering and, being flushed out. So I feel like there could be some like large scale industrial kind of solutions to get the air moving. It's an interesting problem. Oxygen masks for everybody. A first title for the Rangers and a thrill for the former first fan. Ownership of the Texas Rangers helped propel George W. Bush's political career, and decades later, a friend says baseball remains part of who he is. God, that guy is so freaking funny. Gotta see his master class, and his Ukraine oh my God, what a man. I mean, people make fun of Trump, but Bush and Trump, I mean, they were different, but they were echoes. 35 years after addressing Congress, James Hansen has more climate warnings. Boo. The former NASA scientist says in a new paper that global temperatures will pass a major milestone this decade, faster than other estimates predict. Those online... Well, I was just thinking of that, what was it? The ocean seeding? How the freight cargo tanker ships had to stop burning the crude oil, which was releasing sulfur or phosphorus or something into the air, and that was seeding clouds, and it was actually reflecting a lot of heat energy from the sun, and so then they banned it, which was the right call. Well, I mean, it's a historical question that is yet to be determined, but which I think was probably the right call, which ultimately, of course, was the right call, because we don't want, poison in the air. But that also meant that there wasn't as much, reflective particles in the atmosphere, which actually increased global temperatures by like a significant percentage of a degree, I think. So it's like, we might, but then it also begs the question, like, well, okay, so we can mist up or like spray up water, like, we can seed our own reflective particles out of water that are totally harmless, and salt and stuff. So I think it's a mixed bag. I think we need to address. I really love the idea of just misting up the ocean as a way of protecting the planet. Like that's so good. It's so like, yeah, we don't have to get our shit in order because we're so technologically innovative that we can just balance out however much it's too hot. We can just cool the planet down by our own means. So like, why be responsible when you could just make up for it? Those online trolls attacking TV critics, they were from HBO. The push to attack television critics through fake Twitter accounts became the talk of the entertainment world after it was reported by Rolling Stone. Yeah, this is the thing, is like, large companies can be engaged in nefarious stuff all the time, and they have they have like actual economic incentive. Their bottom line could not depend. I mean, it could depend, but their bottom line is deeply affected by, non-consumer, social life. God, what am I saying? So yeah, if they're not interfering, if they're not getting their employees to vouch for them, they're missing out. They're being too ethical. It's not illegal, and even if it is, it's not enforced. So like, yeah. I mean, whether it's independent, whether it's part of the culture, whether it's actually instructed as part of their employment, doesn't matter. Very common. Surprised we don't hear about it more. Okay. Oh, I guess there's a whole other side of these articles. I'm only reading some of them. Alright, a few more. Well, let's see. How much time has it been? It has been 23 minutes. We got plenty of time. Alright, let's see this. What to know about the new dominant COVID variant? I don't believe in COVID. It doesn't exist. What are we talking about? Okay, reload. Why? What? I guess I have to click on it. 3 steps to age exuberantly. Is it bad to drink a coffee on an empty stomach? Is it better to brush your teeth before breakfast? How is this news? How should you change your workout once you... Alright, what the... Huh? Oh. Actually... Oh, interesting. Yeah, sorry. I don't know. For whatever reason, I lost my service. But I guess I can still read the things that are cached. Oh no, there we go. I have service. I don't know why that happened. Oh, dude. There's a new Harry Mack video, but I can't react to that. That wouldn't make any sense. I haven't watched Late Night forever. Okay, let's see. Culture and lifestyle. Queen Latifah redefined being a multi-hyphenate and made it look easy. Okay, multi-hyphenate? Multi-hyphenate. Multi-hyphenate. Who does multiple different jobs, especially in the entertainment industry? I want etymology. Yeah, I know that it's from hyphenate, but what's the etymology of hyphenate? What? Yeah, what's a hyphenate? Divide or connect syllables, word elements, or names with a hyphen. Yeah, thanks. To write with a hyphen. A person who is active in more than one occupation or sphere. So a hyphenate and a multi-hyphenate are the same thing. As a supreme hyphenate, she was prepared to carry a heavy load as the director-producer star of her new film. So, what is the etymology of hyphenate? That should exist not just for the job, but also for the linguistic hyphenate. Hoofen together from hoof under one, hoop under hen one, neuter of heis one, contracted together. Under one. So one under one. So together. A hyphenate is someone who has brought things together. Is a person who does many things. I guess that makes me a hyphenate. I'm not a multi-hyphenate, though. That's just disgusting. A woman had never before been a hip-hop star, an actress, a producer, and the face of mainstream America all at once. What? Eesh. Queen Latifah? Okay. No comment. An unlikely... so rude. An unlikely team changed football forever. You had me at football next. The soccer... Oh, I guess I'm in sports. Well, that makes sense. People care about sports. It's like... why am I yucking their yum? We're cutting all of this. What am I doing? Ah, God, this is so depressing. Oh, Wordle. Let's do Wordle. Okay, Wordle. Let's do this. This is so... I know how to play. Just give me the word. Okay. What's my word? I'm gonna say... After. Let's go. How do I submit it? I pressed enter. There we go. The A and the R are both correct and in the right place, but the F, T, and E are completely wrong. A, something, 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 R. Okay. How about... I mean, the fact that we got them in the right place just makes me want to start actually guessing words. Always tempted to use one of those, look at all the words within these constraints. But let's just try it first. Abhor? But, I mean, do I try it? Or do I have letters... So B, H, or O. Abhor. So what if we guess a word that has an O in that slot, and then if that's right, then we know we can get abhor on the third guess. So what's a word that has an O in the second to last slot, and then we got to use all those letters. So what do we want? We want an S, we want an L. It's 3 letters, so we might get another vowel. We want an I, and we want that O in that spot. Or I guess we could have a B. We could do, probably we want to guess an I though, right? So the I-O, so, ISO, I'm trying to think of something that is like bison, but we don't need to guess B if we're also guessing the O already. Those, right? So, isom, it's so hard to have both the first and last letter be changing. The middle 3 have to be ISO. Well, I want them to be ISO. So it's like, bison is a good one, but like, what's any other one? Let's see, Dyson with a Y? There's no point in guessing a Y. Plus, Dyson's a name. ISO. Limon? That could work. Let's do limon. Will it take limon? No. Misos? Plural of miso? What about like minnows? Minnow. I guess we don't need to guess a W. Minos? There's no word. Minos is a word, and I got the O, which means we know it's abhor. Abhor. What? Fuck me, I just wasted a guess. It's something else. I was so... See, I pre-thought about it. I was like, if the O is right, we know it's abhor. Arbor, but we know it doesn't have a B. I can look at the keyboard. It'll tell me what. Arger? No. So we know it's A something something OR. And they're pretty common words. It's not like going to be an obscure word. Adore is ORE. There's no way it would be OO. I guess it could be IO. No, it can't. There's no I's. And it can't be UO. So, I don't even know. No. Jesus Christ. I mean, I have 2 more guesses, but I don't want to just throw them away. I can't think of a single word that other than abhor. There's like, OR is a suffix that's like pastor, you know? It's like a position, a person, like an arborist. But we know it's not arbor. Well, I guess it could be an ardor. Man, I don't know. Let's get some of these out of the way. Pudgy. Pudgy's a word, right? Oh my god, the D is right. A something DOR. Alder? Agder? I don't understand. Asdor? Agdor? Why am I... Axe? D-O-R. Like, I can't even think. It has to be ardor. Is that how you spell ardor? Oh, wait a minute. Is ardor a Canadian spelling? So in America, does ardor not have a U? Because it can't be W. It could be, I guess, R, right? It can't be O. It can't be A. Ador? A-D-D-O-R? A-R-D-O-R? Actor, Aldor, A-L-D-O-R, that's not a word. Asdor, that's not a word. Axdor, Actor, Avdor. I mean, this is crazy. I'm gonna go with ardor. And I just think maybe in American it doesn't have a U. Right? Like, that's gotta be the explanation. Fuck me. Ardor. It's ardor with a U, right? A-R-D-O-R. This is a word? Enthusiasm or passion? That's not what ardor means. What's ardure? Yeah, O-U-R. That's exactly what ardor. Enthusiasm or passion? Yeah, fervor, zeal. I mean, but enthusiasm or passion? I don't know that that's how I think of it. Well, that was a fail. Ardor spelt without a U. God damn it, I'm such a... Well, I think we've learned that this is not a good thing. What is... I don't understand. This isn't the news. This is just, like, weird. Not even clickbait. It's, like, just weird stuff. This isn't news. So much... what am I doing? It's so bad. I should watch Harry Mack. I think we abandoned this. This was a bad idea. I think we stop. Right? Or am I just giving up? We never give up. Even on a bad idea, we never give up. This will be a secret episode that only the die-hard fans will get access to. This is where the secrets of the universe are finally laid bare. When my mystic knowledge is revealed. maybe my silence was the mystical knowledge. Did you think about that? Maybe you thought that I didn't have anything to say, but actually, my not saying anything was mystic and profound. Did you think about that? So, don't be so judgy. I'll get there. I think we call it. I think we abandon ship. Let it sink. That's what we're doing. We're just practicing. We're just failing in new and creative ways. We'll just call this, 3.1, 3.0. It was just 3A. Well, I really, truly am bereft of words. So yeah, I think one of the really solid lessons, one of the things I can take away most clearly and definitively from the last, this is now will be the 4th episode, episode 3. Almost 4 hours. And what has crystallized for me is I really need a specific thing to talk about. I can go. I can go if I have a core, a vein, a goal, something to hang on to. But when I'm wandering, when I'm freewheeling, man, things really peter out. So, yeah, let's have a goal, have a focus. I should always have a thing. I should never start the thing before I have a thing to start me, right? Symmetry, math, right? That feels good. First the thing starts me, then I start the thing, then it comes out, then good. So, yeah, secrets of the universe. You heard it here first, folks. What more is there to know? That's just life right there. Next time your life blows up, just listen to that. Just zen for a moment. So, yeah. Now I think it's time to be done with this right now, right? Because this is just nonsensical. But is it? Or is this where the true fans are finally revealed? This is important. Here's why it's important. Here's why every moment of this is important. Because one day, I will be an old man. And all of the people in my life will say, wow, man, he's really lost his marbles. And I'll say, I was always like this. This isn't evidence of anything. And they'll say, no, you've lost it. And then I'll pull up this recording and they'll be like, well, actually, he kind of has always been like this. So, maybe he doesn't have, neural degeneration. Maybe he's just always this way. So, don't underestimate what you think might be the value of a thing that you don't understand in its entirety, Time is ever winding, So, you can't know, you can't predict the value of something. It's the story of the Chinese farmer, not racist, by the way, and Alan Watts, I think, was the one who told it. Alan Watts? Yeah, I think so. What a cool guy. If he's the one, I think he's yeah. The Chinese farmer. The Chinese farmer his son is like, whatever. And everyone's like, wow, you're so lucky, to the leader of the villagers. You're so lucky you have such a great son. Then the guy's like, well, maybe I'm lucky to have a great son, maybe not, who knows? We can't say yet. And then his son, disappears one day. And then everyone's like, oh no, your son, he's gone missing. We don't know where he's gone. Like, this is horrible. And the old man is so wise. He's like, well, maybe. We don't know yet. And then his son returns, the following day. And he's found, a pack of wild horses. And he's, earned their trust and brought them back to his property. And now they're grazing on his property. And the villagers say, oh my God, you're so lucky. Your son has found these wild horses. This is so fortuitous. This is worth so many horses, like a couple of years' salary. Like, it's so amazing that he's just gotten you all these wild horses. And the old man says, yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see. We don't know yet. And then his son is taming them, and he's riding them, and then one of them kicks him off, and he falls, and he breaks his leg. And all the villagers come, and they're like, oh my God, it's so horrible, it's so unlucky. And the old man says, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Well, we gotta see. We have to see. And then, this is such a great story, right? Isn't this great? And then the conscription officers come by, and they say there's a war. All the able-bodied men, they gotta come to war. And then they go to the guy's son, and he's broken his leg, and they're like, okay, we can't take you. And then his son is spared from the draft. And then all the villagers are like, oh my God, you're so lucky. And then he's like, maybe. We have to wait and see. We don't know yet. That's the tale of... Wait, it's called The Chinese Farmer, so he's not the chief of the... Anyways, it's like, you don't know enough. You haven't... maybe in a retrospective you'll have enough. Maybe. You'll have enough information. But maybe you'll get the retrospective wrong, That's the whole idea of, time travel, right? You think you can just change... You think you can control by changing some variable. But it's too complicated, It's too messy. Change one thing. So it's even if you had perfect knowledge, even if you went there, even if you could go back, it's kind of immutable. Well, not immutable, but it's chaotic, it's complex, it's mysterious. What are we doing for time? Alright, 12, 10. We got 8 minutes, and then we're gonna wind down and sign off. But this is irreparably bad. You can't do this. Oh, watch me. I don't have to do it in order to do it. I do it, but then I just don't do it, We finish it, we don't ever release it. We release it as evidence of the badness. We gotta set a floor, What's the saying? It's good to know there's a floor on this thing, So, it's good to know there's a floor on this thing. I was looking down there, but the timestamps are all up there. Literally, my screen is just scrolling timestamps, and I'm not paying attention. So. What? What are we doing? What are we talking about? We weren't doing anything. News, that didn't work. We're finishing anyways. We got 5 minutes before we wind down and sign off. Maybe we should wind down early, and we should start thinking about what's next, because we've learned, as I've said, that we need a thing to focus and hone our intellectual. I'm just freewheeling. we need something to focus the mind, like a purpose. because I could just stare at this line all day as it bounces around to my voice. My parents used to always my mom would always make fun of me and my brother for just staring in the mirrors. She'd have like these big mirrors in the house. I would just stare in them and make faces and do weird talk to myself. It's just like entrancing, you know? It's like biofeedback or whatever. So this was a bit of a throwaway, bit of a low episode. I'm just trying to make different waveforms. Okay, focus. Don't look at the thing. Think in your mind. Access your powers of illumination. Ah. Next, we got to do this. We got to get a topic. We did. What is this? Which we should probably keep doing until we figure out what this is. But we did cheat codes. We did God as a cheat code. What else is there to do? What's important? We were looking at things. Maybe we could do like a thing on like war. You know? Because like that's like, ooh, war is exciting. People like that. Or we could do a thing on something else. You know? Like geopolitics or like I'm gonna get myself killed, aren't I? I'm gonna piss off some foreign, you know, whatever, Mossad or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool to be Mossad because like everybody's like, dang, you guys are like so not cool, but like uncool. You know, like you guys are so scary in a mysterious way. Mysterious is the best kind of scary. You know, like you don't want to be like big tough guy scary. That's not cool. But if you're mysterious scary and you're like, whoa, he could like probably kill you with his thumb. You know, then it's like how I don't. It's no everybody who knows how he would kill you with his thumb was killed by his thumb. So it's you'll find out in your last few moments of being killed by his thumb how he does it. You know, the mystery is so intriguing. We could do that, and I need to find a reason to talk about Aikido at some point. Aikido's our backup. We could talk about Aikido as a backup. You know, Aikido, the martial art of peace. Talk about technology. We talked about God. Maybe we could talk more about mysticism. We still haven't finished talking about wormholes. Talk about culture. Talk about comedy. Talk about music, rap, freestyle, rhyming. We kind of talk about poetry. We could talk about art. We could talk about history. Talk about science. Talk about the mind and the brain, and talk about drugs. Talk about do we say music? I was thinking about like listening to music, but also like playing music. Dance is interesting. Computer, I think I said technology, but like computer science, programming, architecture, artificial intelligence. Van life, tiny living, sustainable living, sustainable energy, technology, thing, families, kids, education, entertainment, movies, movie reviews. Dude, reviews, watching, reaction, review, take, commentary, opinion, you know? So So many directions. So many things, so many ways, so many places, so many modes of being. So we take one of those, we give it a little zhuzh, we give it a little flavor, a little spin, a little angle, a little context, and then we're good to go. We got 4 minutes. God, what? How? So bad. I mean, this is just a mess. This was a mess. I mean, I said it 1,000 times, but I can't ever put this one out. So what do I want to say? What is worth saying? Oh, that's a good. I haven't used the word worth. Worthiness. Would it be worth or worthiness? I think it'd be worth. What would be worth saying? Oh, I did once say what would be worth putting out. That's true. Didactic. Okay, focus, Julian. You got 3 minutes. We could talk about like intellectualism, intelligence. Maybe that'd be an interesting topic, like intelligence as both biological and artificial intelligence. Like, what is intelligence? That's actually that's kind of exciting. That's kind of an interesting topic. We've got 2.5 minutes to tease the topic. So, yeah, artificial intelligence. I mean, I think one of the things to talk about is that we don't have a good definition of what intelligence is. Like, IQ's intelligence quotient is literally the quotient of it's based on the fact that the biggest indicator of intelligence is age, meaning you just get smarter over the course of your life. So if we just find out what the average person of every age is, the average smartness of every age, and we see that it's this upward slope, and then we see where you are on the slope, and then we compare that to, so there's this slope of age and intelligence, and we just say, where's your age and where's your intelligence? And so if your intelligence is ahead of your age, then you're smart, and if the intelligence is lagging behind your age, then you're less smart. So it's the quotient. But here's the thing, is that we do this, I don't know that you would even call it statistical, but like we do this kind of relativistic analysis because we don't know what intelligence is. There's all these things about how intelligence is increasing over time, but that effect has maybe leveled out a little bit. We seem to be, but is that because we're encultured to the test? I mean, it's just so many things, so many directions to talk about. Intelligence, human intelligence. I think that's something I should talk to. And then artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence is like the greatest thing that's going to happen to human intelligence since language, you know? Like, we're going to superpower our intelligence. You know, the real super intelligence is going to be the symbiosis of man and machine, of biological, of natural and artificial intelligence. And then we can talk about all the nonsense about slowing. Yeah, that's what we should do. We should talk about all the nonsense of AI, risk, fears, slowing it down. That's what we gotta do. So that's it. That's what the next episode is going to be, is intelligence and the fears of the stupid. Oh, that's not a bad way. I mean, maybe we can, but we should have it be a little controversial. Alright, that's it. It's been an hour, so I am outie like a Ferrari. Oh, God. God, at least let it be over.